Hey everyone, my name is Becky, I have ME, and this is my ME. So I've been debating for a little while since it happened, really, whether or not to make a video on this or discuss it. I don't know. If you follow me on social media or whatever, you'll know that I've had no internet for a little bit. It has been back for a couple of days, but like I said, I've just been debating whether or not to make this video or not. And I didn't want to make it straight after everything because I didn't want to be on the Logan Paul hate train. I don't. I'm sure you all know by now what he did, and what he included in one of his vlogs, which was somebody who had taken their own life. And you know, I didn't want to get on the hate train. I don't want to be out with my pitchfork and whatnot. That's not who I am. But I was very deeply troubled. You know, not just for the people who watched, but the family of the victim too. But something pushed me over the edge in all this. And it was the people who were sticking up for him. People who were saying, oh, he's done nothing wrong, you're all just overreacting. And now I can understand it coming from his audience. His audience are largely, you know, very young children, very young children. I'd say about 10, I would, looking at some of them. And, you know, so his child audience, they don't understand, they don't have enough life experience to understand why this is so bad and why this is so terrible and how this can deeply affect people. But there are others who've been sticking up for him, who should know better, who are old enough to know better, and Tanner Fox is one of these people. And it's his tweet that pushed me over the edge, to be honest. And it's because, and I can't get it out of my head, that's the thing. I was like, no, you can't tell this story. And that's another thing that kind of put me off is telling it, is because it really isn't my story to tell. And the person whose story it is, I'm not in contact with anymore for various reasons. And obviously I would never want, you know, even though we're not in contact anymore, I'd never want her hurt over anything I said online. But I can't get this tweet out of my head, and I can't get out of my head what he said and how many people have agreed with this kid. And, you know, he is young, he's a young vlogger, he's about 18, 19, something like that. He's around the same age as my youngest son, who knew straight away how terrible it was and the effect it can have on people. So no, you can't cry, he's only young. That's not an excuse whatsoever. But his tweet said something, I can't find it or link it because he deleted it apparently, so I can't get hold of it. But it said something along the lines of kind of, you know, get off Logan's back, you know, what he did was a bit messed up, but did it hurt anyone? No. Did it affect anyone? No. And I can't get that out of my brain. I can't get out of my head that people actually can think this way after what was done. But I feel like I need to share this because I want people to understand just how it can affect lives. And so I've decided to tell the story, and I've decided to tell the story from my perspective and from what I saw, and I'll try and keep things as vague as possible. Because obviously, like I said, I don't want anybody upset. But, and again, you know, trigger warning, we are talking about depression and suicidal ideation, and suicide itself, which may get this video taken down, and if it is, I'll re-upload it because I do think it's an important conversation to have. So this story isn't about me, obviously. It's about somebody I knew and I was very close to at one point in time. Almost like sisters, really. She had a close family member of hers die, and she called me, in hysterics, letting me know, that he'd gone, and wanted me to, didn't want me to go, but I said, right, I'll be there, and I was there as quick as I could get there. I wasn't in town at the time, but I got back into town pretty quick, and she was absolutely broken, really broken. She had 3 very young children at the time, very young, and she was just very broken. And this family member of hers had taken his own life. Not only had he taken his own life, but the footage of this, stills of it, video of it, had made its way online. I'm not going to tell you how, because again, I don't think it's right to go into details, but needless to say, I think it's important you know that that's what happened. So it's a very similar situation here, in that the family member of the victim in Logan's vlog will now be in the same position that my friend was. Seeing her very close family member online. I'm getting upset, sorry, I didn't mean to get upset. We don't want to be upset, do we? I think that was the worst part for her. She was absolutely broken because these images are now online for good. They're online for good. And that's the thing with the internet, is things are never gone. They're always there. You upload them, they're there forever. Somebody else would have downloaded it and re-uploaded it, or what have you. And they were there for everybody to see. So, out of respect for her, I never looked, and I never would. But she must have wondered, has she seen? Has she looked? Has any of my other friends looked? Will my children grow up one day and look? She was absolutely shattered. And I can't begin to explain to you how this affected her life. Because, again, I'm trying to say things from my perspective, but from my perspective, and I can tell you, she changed. She used to be a very bubbly person. I'm not saying she wasn't kind of outgoing and social, because she still was social, but she wasn't the same. I don't know what she's like now. I hope she's happy. I do hope she's happy, no matter what. I do. But to know, and put yourself in that position, knowing that a close family member of yours, that their deceased body is online. Everybody knows what they did, where they went, what happened, and it leaves you open to so much criticism and judgment, and there was no outcry of support from the public. She saw so much judgment, so much hatred, so much blame. Nobody stopped to think how that would affect her or her children, or the mother of the victim, or the father of the victim, or, anything that did. The victim also had children. Nobody stopped to think about those. They just were like, oh wow, look at this, and uploaded it. You know, people don't have decency these days. So, yeah, Tanner Fox, it very much affects people. This will affect his family. This will affect his family. This will affect his friends. It will cause irreparable damage. The whole community will know. The wider community will know. I don't know. I'm finding this very difficult. Very difficult. I think it's so shocking because his audience is so young. And he exposed his audience to that. I mean, he's done other really terrible things too. There's a clip of him going around pretending to get killed and shot. And it pans to his audience, and his audience are so young. Like, some of them look like 8 years old. I said to my son yesterday, I said, if he'd have done that in front of you, God help him. God help him. He really would have died that day. We need to be aware of what we're putting out there in the world. We need to understand that what we do, what we say, will affect others. It isn't people. And that's another thing that wound me up, was his dad made a video and referred to everybody who had a dissenting opinion, who, you know, everybody who said that Logan was wrong for what he did. Bearing in mind, Logan himself said it was wrong what he did in his robotic. Oh my goodness. He was like a robot, he was like an android in his apology video. Did you see it? It was just like, I am so sorry. I will not do it again. Please forgive me. Like, I was just like, what? Yeah, so his father referred to everybody as haters. People aren't haters because they think it's disgusting to show dead people to children. That's not being a hater, that's being normal. And if you can't see that is normal to think that that's wrong, then I really suggest that you get your head out the clouds, that you go and do some voluntary work with people in perhaps you know, people in a mental health institute, you know, people who are in hospital, people who are in care. Go and spend some time and learn what it's like. It is dark. I really do hope he's learned from this. I really do. This whole, you know, and I'm not just going to say, oh, this is just him, he's a terrible person, this is Logan's fault. Because obviously there's been some lack of parenting going on for his father to act the way he's acted. There's obviously some fundamental lacking there that I can see. But I also blame this culture of vlogs having to one-up each other and one-up themselves, you know. Well, what can I do that's better than this? What can I do? And it seems like that culture has broken relationships up. It's broken people down. And it's led to this that we have now. And I think it needs to change very rapidly, because I think people would still watch. I don't think you need to do these shocking, terrible things. People, I think, would still watch. They'd still watch you go about your day. They'd still watch you going to Starbucks and getting a drink. And, you know, they'd still watch, I think, because you've got a strong fan base. You don't need to do these shocking things, Logan. You really don't. And I hope when you come back to YouTube, whenever that is, I think taking a break is a great idea. But I think when you come back, you know, just try and be yourself. without all the clownery, without, I don't know. Just try and be yourself for a bit and see how you get on. I don't think your views will go down. I don't think your subscriber game will go down. I think you'll be okay. I'm not going to comment on YouTube's punishment and whatnot, because I don't feel like it's my place. I still feel he should be given a second chance to right this wrong. Because for me, I don't know about anyone else, but for me, words mean very little. It's actions that show me the person. And so the robotic apology didn't do it for me. But I'll see when you come back, and if you are making positive changes and into not doing this nonsense, then I'm happy to forgive you and to move on. And I think a lot of other people will too. But you've got to stop calling them things like haters. Are you serious? Who are you people? It's like you're not living in the real world. Are you not on Earth? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go off on one, and I'm not going to get on my soapbox. I wanted to share that story because I wanted people to understand how it does affect your life, and it will affect your life. And it will affect future generations, you know. In the case of my friend, it will affect her children, because her children will know it's there. And their children may overhear them talking about it one day and go and look. And there it will be. And so it will go on, and they'll be like, oh God, that was, you know, my so-and-so. And I just keep imagining how the mother must feel. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to end it there because it's a ridiculous long one again. Probably won't be able to edit this, so I'll probably start off the video going while I'm waiting for it to start, and then end the video with me leaning in and turning it off. Never mind. I'm hopefully getting a laptop. The boy's dad said he's got a spare one, so he's going to hopefully send that down when he's free. He's super busy. He's got his own business and things, and he's super busy at the minute. But so hopefully that will come, and I can start editing. Awesome. So I'm done. I'm going, because I don't want to keep adding and moping and going on about it. I just wanted to say that. I wanted to tell that story and move on with life. And I feel better for talking about it. I've kind of spoken to my son about it a bit, but I've been holding it in here, and I've not been able to let it go. So I think this has been a bit of therapy for me, I guess, because I just needed to talk it out and share that story, really. So I will love you and leave you, and if you would like to join me, brain fog's kicked in already. The word's join, so if you'd like to join me on my journey through this illness and life, please subscribe. It would be wonderful to have you along. And thank you so much for joining me yes. I keep feeling like I'm saying everything wrong now. And thank you for listening to what I had to say. And I'm gonna love you and leave you. And thank you so much for being here today. Bye.